My dad worked at the other refinery that's here, and he used to come home, and he stunk. He stunk. He smelled like the plant. Some people say that smells like money, but I mean, I think it's pretty clear that that smells like suffering and premature death, and that's it. Maybe money for somebody from elsewhere, but it ain't money for us. There's mass killing going on because of these facilities. They kill you slow and they make you suffer. My name is James Hiatt, and I'm from Southwest Louisiana. I grew up in Lake Charles. Yeah, we're standing right here in the cemetery, Farquhar Cemetery, and behind me is CITGO refinery, a place that I worked at for nearly a decade. Most dangerous scenarios happens every day. As an operator, you have to gauge the level of the liquid in the tanks, and these massive tanks require you to climb on top of them, and they're floating. They're actually floating on the product. So the gasoline tanks, diesel, kerosene, toluene, you'd have to climb on top and then stick a gauge tape all the way down and measure to see what the liquid level was and to check if there was any water at the bottom of the tank. You're compelled to have some kind of situational integrity where you'll just do the work, just get it done, because you've done it before and nothing's happened. But that's always an incident or something. It's dangerous. Every bit of this is made to burn, to combust, or to explode. I mean, that is what fossil fuels are. That's what they do in your engine. They burn in a controlled way inside the engine. When they're not inside an engine, they can burn and explode and combust and really cause suffering and death. And the truth is, the hydrocarbons that are being released contain benzene, other known carcinogens, particulate matter, things that affect public health. The reason why we in Southwest Louisiana have such a high incidence of cancer and asthma and cardiovascular disease is directly related to the massive amounts of pollution that these companies like this one and others are allowed to emit. I'll just mention my friend who died last year from brain cancer just four days before his 40th birthday. There's mass killing going on because of these facilities. They kill you slow and they make you suffer. And it doesn't have to be that way. And there are alternatives, and we cannot continue to build more and more of these polluting infrastructure that benefits no one. It benefits nobody who lives in this area. Yeah, people need to understand, just because it's not flaring doesn't mean it's not emitting a whole ton of emissions. Things that are contaminating the air, causing cardiovascular disease and asthma and cancer. I mean, there is pollution happening, and it stinks. And if you need a camera to see that, that just shows that these companies are lying to us. This is not clean energy at all. There's nothing clean about LNG. This place has been built since 1941. It was built for the war effort. They went almost 100 years without paying any property tax. Whatever little bit they give to the community or to as a partner in education to a school is nothing compared to what they actually owe and the harm that they've caused to generations, really. To get the water off of the tanks, because the rain falls and some water can get into the tank and then you have to get the water out. What they used to do is a guy would walk around with an easy lawn chair and an umbrella, and he'd just open up the water draw, let the water flow on directly onto the ground and he would have a couple tanks going, and when he started seeing product is when they would close it. That went on for decades. Without the EPA, without the Clean Water and Clean Air Act, these corporations don't care about any of us, much less the environment and the drinking water that we're all drawing from the same aquifer. Is continually being polluted. I could keep going. Yeah, I mean, we work shift work, so that means that you work days and you work nights. And so I missed a lot of my family's, my kids growing up. And when I came home, because my dad would come home and stink, I would take my Nomex off. I would take off the fire retardant clothing that we wore, the uniform, before I got to the house and picked up my kids. I didn't want this, whatever I was being exposed to be with them. They understood that I was making a living. I was earning money to provide for my family, the same as all these fine folks that live here and work here. I don't think there's a person here. I mean, my brother-in-law still works here. Probably, maybe I shouldn't say that. He still works here. My mother-in-law was a security guard here. You know, nobody loves oil and gas. What they love is being able to provide for their family. And there's ways to do that that does not continue down this pathway that causes so much harm. We have over 1,000 abandoned, uncapped wells in this area. There's over 4,500 orphaned wells where the owner is no longer known and the taxpayer will have to carry the burden of capping that well. That could be done today. We have all these oil hands who aren't working offshore anymore. All of these hands could be capping wells. We could be installing more solar. We could be installing more energy efficiency in all of our homes. There's so many ways forward that don't include continued fossil fuel dependency. My brother-in-law loves to build houses, and if he could build affordable houses for folks and still receive the same kind of health insurance that he gets working here, he would be doing that. He doesn't love oil and gas. He just has to pay. All of us have a cost of living in this system, and we have to meet that cost of living. And so whatever, I don't fault anybody for that. We all have just one life on this earth, however long we get to be here, and the idea that we're going to trade our time for money, until we retire and then die, is a system that needs to be re-examined and really looked at, because there's only one life we get, and the more that we spend, working for someone else, working for corporations who don't care, is an absolute waste.